to the next topic, and this one, and B, I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw this off of your Instagram story, and I just
I
thought it
thought
would
I
be,
liked it.
huh?
I liked it.
Yeah, I know you did because this is right up your alley. Cause, but
I'm
yeah, I
weak.
saw this on B Instagram story, and I thought it'd be a good topic to talk about. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let the film run, and we could just have an opinions about it. Okay.
I'm over dating for love. I've dated for love all my life, and I'm ready for somebody that's stable. I'm no longer in the process of trying to build from the ground up. I'm building myself from the ground up. You come built ground up on your own, and then we can merge together. But long gone for me are the days of dating a nigga's potential, dating a nigga because I love him, dating a nigga because my son needs a father. Like I realized, God damn it, I'm the nigga. Like I'm it. You know, so what I need now is stability. I want somebody to match my 6 figures. And then we could have double that. I want somebody to help me grow. You know, All About Love by Bell Hooks. The definition that they gave in that book was love meaning the willingness to nurture another's own growth. I'm tired of nurturing niggas' growth. I'm ready to be nurtured. So yes, stability to me is more important than love. We can grow into love. I can meet you today because that whole love at first sight shit is not true either. So I can meet you today and we get to know each other. I know that you're stable, you know that I'm stable. We're both building, and then we fall in love. But just thinking that me and you are gonna, oh, we in love, and I met you, and love is gonna conquer all that shit is not true. I think I'm over dating for love.
I come to the panel. Your thoughts? What we just um. I have a lot, but it mostly comes to questions that I do want everybody to answer. But I wanted everybody to give their opinion first on what they thought about this. So,
I kind of get what she means, and in my head, I'm like, I kind of get where she's coming from, but it was something about the way she worded that kind of had me like, someone's gonna, and it's not me disagreeing with her. It's just someone else is gonna hear this and be like, you just want somebody to scoop you up and take care of you because of how she said what she said.
How did you get that? I don't think she was speaking in regards to like
Like,
taking care of each other. I think she was speaking in regards to stability. Like
yeah,
she said,
yeah. I'm saying the wrong person's gonna hear it and say, oh, you just want somebody to take care of you, whatever, whatever. And again, okay, it's like this. Basically, what I'm saying is, I don't want the wrong person to hear what she's saying and say she's a golden. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
When in reality, that's not what she's saying. That's not the case. She don't want. Basically, she's not trying to deal with somebody who ain't got shit and ain't trying to do or be shit.
yeah,
That's the vibe I get from what she's saying. She over explained it basically.
yeah. I feel like she's talking about like stability, like in general. Like we all pretend like people be like, "Oh, love will conquer all." People be like, "Oh, if you truly in love with this person," but let's be honest, not too many people ain't truly in love with each other. Um, so that's why
I
people
hate this
they
point.
they falling out of love so
She
quickly.
did say that whatever relationship could potentially build toward that,
Yeah,
but
but that's
she
the thing. You can grow to love somebody. That's easy. If you're around somebody 24/7, 365, 367, 368, 390, you at 500 days around them. Now you at 1,000 days around them. You at um what 7 years, 10 years. Eventually you gonna be in love. Like enough time, you're gonna eventually fall in love with this person. You be like, damn. Like everything this
Yeah.
person do just makes you smile.
I am so sorry. I disagree with all of that. I don't think. Oh my God. Okay,
You
where
don't
do I
think you
even
can grow in
begin?
love with somebody?
Listen. Y'all trying to make love like it's an action, like it's a bruh. You want to know what love is? Love is power, right? Like for example, if you have a kid, right, that kid is going to empower you to be your best self, right? Now, for the most part, like when people have kids and they truly love their kids and shit like that, they're gonna do everything in their power to take care of those kids because they love those kids. That empowers them to go out and get another degree. That empowers them to go out and work 80 hours overtime if they need to. Like that's what love does. Love is empowering in itself. However, y'all like the problem with this society is that y'all think that someone's potential and someone's capacity to love you is like dependent on external factors, and in a way it does, right? I'm not knocking that. Like for example, someone who's financially stable is probably going to be in a better position to showcase the love that they have for somebody. Nothing wrong with that, right? But then the question then becomes how much stability is going to reflect on the love that that person has for you. Because what if they're not stable anymore? Y'all think stability is like a lot of people think that stability is just once you have it you're always gonna have it. That is not the fucking case. So she can say all that stuff about wanting to meet someone stable in order to meet with her halfway and shit like that, but then what happens when that person is no longer stable? You gonna leave? Has stability become a replacement for love, or are you just using stability as a scapegoat for the fact that you probably don't love yourself like you think you should? Because if you got it on your own and you're already stable, then what do you need love for?
But that's what you said. Potter actually leads into the other thing I was going to say. How okay, this sounds like somebody who is used to attracting bums.
And there's a
Who's
lot
used
of
to being
bums in
around
this
cats who
society.
ain't who again ain't about shit, ain't got shit, ain't trying to be shit or do shit. Sounds like she's been around too many of them type of cats.
But like Dion, my thing is you can only nurture potential if you cultivate the environment to nurture it. If you sitting there just giving to somebody who's not giving back to you, well, nigga, then of course you're gonna get burned at the end of the day because you're not doing it for the right reason. I am so tired of this narrative that men are just a fucking case and they need help and all this other shit, because that was the very same type of mentality that men imposed on women and made them, you know what I'm saying, marry them and made them take care of all the kids and cook the dinner and cook the food while the niggas out there having a second family. There's too much power on the men's side instead of the women's side, and they exploited it so much to the point where now in this generation you have a whole bunch of women that just look at men like they're case studies. So I actually blame the men in this situation because you were inadequate in cultivating households and relationships that would empower the women to stay with you. Now instead, you got these women having a whole bunch of jobs and they're moving upward because they want nothing to do with you now because you fucked up so bad. You feel what I'm saying? So like when it comes to conversations like this, I usually try not to hear it because a lot of y'all be full of shit. I'm sorry. A lot of y'all be full of shit talking about I'm not going to love a man's potential and shit like that. Well, okay, so then don't love your own then. Because it goes both ways. Whoever partner you choose is a reflection of your values and the type of time that you're on in regards to your journey. If you're dating a bum, something about you is bummy.
You know what?
I think I come to realize some people, y'all put love, like love is really important to y'all. Like some people, love is really, truly, truly important to y'all. Like that's like, I guess that's the crest of like where it starts for y'all. And that's the difference. So
I mean,
each person, depending on how you
it
see
has to
life,
play
depends
some
on
of
how you
it,
see
love
love.
has to play some form of importance, especially if you're talking about seeking out a potential husband or wife or whatever. You're at that point you're talking about finding someone you're going to spend your life with. You have to actually love that person in order to make a commitment of that fucking nature.
The depends on how you see life. This is exactly how you're going to see what that girl talked about. Because we both seen it differently. And I understand some of y'all truly do want to just be deep in love with somebody. And y'all feel like that's gonna conquer it all. I pray to God that y'all find that person.
I've ne- I've
Not
never
not everyone is
seen
true.
two
Like love
people
is
who
not
can't
everything for
stand each
everybody.
other. I've never seen two people who dislike each other or didn't care about each other succeed at doing a goddamn thing together.
Yeah, but love isn't just the only thing that's holding people together. Sometimes love ain't holding nobody together at all.
So then, is it love?
If I said it's not holding them together at all, that means there is no love.
Exactly. So
He just
why
said
is
that.
it?
They're just
Why? Yeah. Like, so then, why is the narrative always "I'm tired of falling for somebody's potential"? Well, nigga, everybody has potential. You got potential.
she didn't
If
say.
somebody didn't see that potential in you, then what's the point?
Are we still talking about homegirl? Or are we talking about some other stuff?
Yeah, we are.
Homegirl. Because she said that she's tired of falling in love with a man's
She
potential.
said she's not falling in love with potential. She wants stability.
Yes.
Match what exactly what she's bringing in. Match the same amount that she's bringing in. She wants stability. She wants somebody who has drive, who has motivation, who's stable, who's moving in the direction that they're supposed to be moving towards. Like and then love will eventually come. But she's not. She's not. Oh,
But
I see this
then,
guy. I'm so
but
in love with him
here,
right
I'm
now.
but
sorry.
then here,
That is so silly.
hold on.
That's always
That
the
is
case.
so
Let
fucking
me
silly.
let me interject real quick, and then this is where I gotta side with Five. All right, because when you're dating someone, you're you kind of have no choice but to kind of go along with that potential. Because again, like I said earlier, you're talking about a situation you're seeing a potential wife or potential husband. The name of the game, regardless of how you look at it, until you get to a certain stage, is potential.
All I'm saying is, if I love you, then my actions are gonna show it. You feeling what I'm saying? Like at that point, it's because it's very easy for me to say that I love somebody and not do anything. It's very easy to do that. However, if I'm showing you that I love you by showing up every day, I may not have much, but at the same time, that's something like in the same way that she could build towards love with somebody who's stable, we can also build towards stability with love. It's the same shit. That's why I think it's silly because it's like you're not really, you know, it's like you're not really providing a solution for yourself. You're just replacing one thing with another.
And hell, what you said
Y'all
about the
only
building towards stability, if you have that love for a person, I'm an example of that shit.
so y'all only see stability as finance, right?
No.
No.
That's what it
See,
sounds like.
and
So
that's where,
y'all
and then
always
that's
speaking
where what I
conversations
said earlier
individually.
about people looking at her as a gold digger comes into play. Because the way she worded what she just said, it sounds like she's strictly talking about money.
She did mention six figures.
That's all y'all heard. Y'all didn't hear nothing else like that. It literally, whew, and it was y'all locked into that. Match my six figure. And that was it.
Well, most people in America don't make six figures. So if she wants someone who makes six figures, she can find it. She makes six figures. So what would be the point of you coming on that show talking about I'm not marrying for a man's potential anymore? That's fine, but you're just replacing one thing with another. Because what then happens if that nigga's no longer stable or you're no longer stable? Shit happens. It's life. Just because you stable one minute don't mean you're gonna be stable the next. That's why you build towards that with somebody who is willing to do that for you. Isn't that what they say when you get married in sickness and in health, for richer and for poor? Now, I know we're not talking about marriage in this particular context, but in the scope of a relationship, you do have to consider a person's potential. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's the problem. we keep looking at people's potential. The potential may never come. So stop looking at their potential and look at them exactly where they are right now.
I
And if that
disagree.
potential
Stop
never
looking at
I
comes, then
potential.
hella
okay,
disagree.
you
Potential
got
is
to
a lie.
go.
That's what she
Then
said.
move on to the
Stop
next. That's simple.
marrying somebody for some potential. Like get with these people that have stability. That like you see who they are. Like they're working, they're doing this. Oh, this person been working on this patent or this job or this thing, whatever, because he thinks it's gonna take him somewhere. Oh, and you're like running with him also because there's a potential for him to get somewhere, and it never get there. Because when you met him, he was exactly the same spot he was in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years. He's still in the same spot. So the potential never got there. So stop looking at people for their potential. Look at them for where they are right now. Like look at the person you're seeing right now. Stop pretending or looking or pretending that somebody is somewhere where they're not
You gonna
really
be
at.
lonely as a motherfucker with that mentality.
No, it's not even about being lonely. It's just a silly assertion to believe that if someone is where they're at right now is because they chose that circumstance for them. It's fucking silly as shit. I'm not
Right.
gonna
And
look at somebody for where they at, bro. That shit could change. You don't know. In the same way that you said that you're looking for somebody who's on the table, that stability can be gone. So then what's next? You know what I'm saying? Anything can
the
happen.
things that I can say about this subject, but I don't want to make the conversation about me.
No, it's not. But like, bro, it just sounds like you're replacing one thing for another. If it's not love, then it's stability. If it's not love, then it's physical attraction. If it's not love, then it's this, then it's that. It's like, bro, stability is not just financial. We've already acknowledged this. But at the same time, like if you're making six figures and you're just automatically assuming that someone who don't make six figures is not about that life, then you're basically doing the same thing that the niggas did when they married a whole bunch of women and had second families on them because they didn't empower their potential enough for them to have their own. You feeling what I'm saying? Like if I'm in a relationship with my girl, it's not just me, it's her too. So it would be in my best interest to accommodate her potential by making myself, by cultivating an environment where that potential can be cultivated, right? Now, you have the stories of women that build men up, they become super successful, and then they leave them, right? Like that's a thing that happens. So my thing is, that's what I'm saying. Stability doesn't always necessarily mean that you're gonna fall or grow in love with somebody unless that love has an intention behind it anyway. If you don't have it, I'm still gonna love you. If you do have it, I'm still gonna love you. However, with that being said, if somebody isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing and you're not being loved in the way that you want to be loved, you need to recognize that and you need to make the changes to accommodate that. Because right now, it just sounds like excuses. This nigga ain't got stability, so therefore, and I'm like, bruh, yeah, like that's what it is because potential is a thing. You're always, you cannot escape potential. I don't care whether you dating for stability. I don't care whether you dating because the nigga got a big dick. It's always a potential for something to happen. So this assertion that I'm not gonna fall in love with somebody just based on their potential is silly to me because everything is potential.
May I intervene with a theory of mine?
Go ahead.
Black men and black women are raised differently. Even though we are in the same community, we are raised differently. Because I don't know about y'all, but I know me growing up as a man, they told me all you got to do is find you a good job, a good woman, and you be set for the rest of your life. But if you ask with the women, how they was told to aim for the highest. Go get your degrees. Go get your masters. Go get the big 6-figure jobs and all that other stuff. So you won't have to worry about work de- depending on someone. So I feel like a lot of our black women are raised to be independent. So that's why a lot of them have that and what's the word I'm looking for? They got that drive to get that 6-figure job or get that job that they won't have to depend on people. Men as
And then you know what? This is where that's where a big disconnect comes from. Because basically we're expected to be dependable and The women are taught not to depend on shit. So yeah, there's a
To,
clash there.
well, to me, as men, we're supposed to be protectors and providers, but we're never told to go get the unless you are Caribbean and unless you are probably Nigerian or any parts of West Africa, you're mostly told to just get a job. But I know most people they'll tell you unless you was told to be a doctor, because even Asian community they say you go be doctor, you go be lawyer. They tell them to go for the highest price jobs. For us Black America, we just told to get a job. If you get a job, especially Black men, if you get a job, you should be good. You're not being able to work. Now nobody didn't predict inflations and all that other stuff. You have that. And another thing is if you date, and this is kind of like what this whole thing is about because there's a difference between dating in your 20s and then dating in your 30s. If you're dating in your 20s, all the man has is potential because he hasn't done nothing yet. He's just starting out. Now you could still ask him, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, unless he has been raised to like always go for try to do the best you can or always get the highest, he probably don't even know what the fuck they're doing. There's a lot of people that goes out of high school and don't even know what the fuck they do, which is why a lot of them went to the Art Institute of Washington in the first place, because a lot of them was just like, I don't know what the fuck to do, so they just went to AI
Or
or
why a lot of cats enlist with the military.
or enlist in the military or go in the community or enlist in the military, which is not a real bad thing because at least the military they'll at least pay for your college, and sometimes that's a plan. For most people, that's a plan. I know for a lot of Black women, that was their plan. They was like, I'm just doing this and then go to school and then go get my degree. So women, they at least had a plan for what they was doing. A lot of black men is just like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So at least if they go in the military, they're more or less likely to stay in the military because after 20 years you can retire. So with that being said, if the women is always told to aim for the master's degree and the men's just say aim for a job, just get a job, which it could be a McDonald's job, but the women that's aiming for like doctors and lawyers and all that stuff, they're gonna look at our men as just like, which is why I think they emasculate the men right now. There's the whole thing about the bus driver thing, and I hate to bring that back up, but the whole bus driver thing, like women didn't understand why men was having a problem, is because it's just like a bus driver is a good ass job, especially like you got benefits and all that other stuff. Yes, it's not a name like a lawyer, like it doesn't bring the credibility like a lawyer, but it's like it's still a good ass job. And as men, yes, we want to be protectors and providers, but we still want you to like us. Like I say this all the time. Anybody remember 50 Cent's 21 questions? The first question he asks is,
If I
if I
fell off tomorrow, would you still love me?
thank you. If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? Now, there's a lot of women that do marry for money. They do marry for stability, which I don't have a problem with because if you focus on stability, then by all means you should go for that. But some of these men, I feel like stability got to be beaten into you, and I don't think a lot of men get beat into, which is why a lot of them drop out of high school in an early age. Some of them just be on the block or something because they just feel like they ain't shit. And then and that's another story. Like yes, black girls, they've been taught, black girl magic, you are queens, you are everything, black girls run the world and all that other stuff, which I don't have a problem with. Which even I don't like big up my black sisters all the fucking time. Where sometimes brothers don't even get that. Sometimes you ever notice when a brother gets a compliment, some people don't know how to take it, and then some people is just like, and then they'll hold their compliment because it seems like forever. Where women gets compliments every fucking day. So even when a brother like he goes to college and he does get a degree, it's like like they say sometimes look at him like you're supposed to do that. To where a woman when she get a master, she like, go ahead, queen, go get your degree, sis, go get your degree. It's like it's an environment to push. I'm not saying like you should give like you should be glazing men, but if a man is doing good, and I say this all the fucking time, if a man is doing good, big him up. because he may need that. Because sometimes it is lonely, and you feel like no one is like bigging you up on it as a man. Sometimes it's like, yo, you're supposed to do that. It was like, no, I appreciate what you're doing, brother. You know, you couldn't have done that, but you did that. So that's why a lot of those men, you know, this whole, I feel like this is where the whole I am the table shit start. Or what are you bringing to the table when they talk about quote unquote high value men? So that, to me, that's where a lot of the things is. And I feel, and the last point is, yeah, dating in your 20s is different than dating in your 30s. If I feel like once you get into your 30s, you're looking for stability. Again, a lot of women are looking for stability, and then most of you have have children. You don't have jobs. You don't have to hold a house down. So you don't want to be doing it to yourself. So you just want at least somebody that would, you know, I could say he could at least hold a job or something like that. Or but some of y'all got 6-figure jobs and hypergamy is a thing. So y'all not gonna look for a nigga that could just hold a job down. You looking for a nigga that's your status or better. So since you always been taught to aim high, even in your 30s, you're going to aim high as you can. And then like anything below y'all feel like it's settling. So which opens up again a lot of fucking doors. So
And like the thing is, I was never raised to look at somebody's circumstances and just judge them and define them based on their circumstances because that's unfair. You feeling what I'm saying? Like just because somebody might be struggling in life or somebody may not make a lot of money, that doesn't mean the person is useless. We are all human beings. You feeling what I'm saying? Is why I keep saying potential has to be cultivated in a place where an environment accounts for it. Like again, if I'm dating a woman, it's not just me. It's not just me that I'm looking for my best self-interest. It's her too. And in the case that the relationship doesn't work out, I did my part. You feeling what I'm saying? So I don't, nothing gets taken away from me just because I cultivated somebody else's potential. That means that whoever I get with is going to benefit. That does make me the motherfucking prize. That does make me the value. In the same way that women have also done the same thing. Louis Farrakhan said something. He said that when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you're teaching an entire nation. You understand what I'm saying? So when these conversations come up, I just hate how it's always about that individual. No, stop making it about you. You feeling what I'm saying? When you get into a relationship, it is no longer about you. Yes, you can date for potential. Yes, you can date for stability and all these other things. Everybody has different stuff to what they want in a relationship. That isn't the issue. The issue is you framing this narrative that because somebody is stable, you feeling what I'm saying, that they're more worthy of love than somebody who isn't stable. I will never fucking agree with that.
well, yeah, there you, there you go. Shoot. Anything else? Someone, any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Nigga, just bro, cultivate the greatest version of yourself. Because if you have the potential, then it can be cultivated. But don't fucking sit up here and try to make it seem like love is just this evil thing for people just simply because somebody doesn't know how to love you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a whole bunch of those people here. It's 8 billion people on earth. Love yourself enough to understand the difference between the two.
And I also want to say this because it's not like no one tries to big up Ben. There's been how can I say this? Like camps, there's been influences that, you know, just try to dedicate, you know, the growth of black boys so they won't be doing no fuck shit and then try to do better. And then sometimes they get shut down. I don't know for one reason or another. So it seems like sometimes as black men, it seems like no one wants us to do well, and not even our women. I'm not saying I feel like that, but I know there's a lot of black men that feel like that. It seems like no one wants black men to do well, even our women. So, and then that becomes a problem in itself. So I feel like even if our community, everybody has to do well, but especially our men. Like I said, if you're in your 20s, that's all you have is potential, because it's just like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do when you grow up? And then, and most dudes, um, they'll tell you like, I want to be a doctor or a lawyer. you should be able to make sure you push him to that direction and make him understand like that's what he wants. This is what you get. I feel like women, they get that, and then plus a little bit more because they say you have to do half the work to do. You do twice as much to get half of what they have and all that stuff. So I feel like as women, they already have that, especially since women, they're more or less likely to enroll into college and get education and degrees, and most men will just go into union works and work with our hands. So, like I said, that's the difference in pay right there. So it's like I said, it's a lot of things that you could just say, but there's just but it's like goulash. It's all, everything just thrown into one spot, and we're just figuring it out. So on to, I guess we could stay on relationships. Y'all have heard about the whole trophy wife thing, right?